What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is JU with goldmines.com. I just wanted to, talk a little bit about the Kell Brook Errol Spence, press conference, and a little bit about the fight itself. I have to head to work in a little bit, so I'll keep this video as quick as possible, and I'll do more videos on it later. First of all, I'm very excited for this fight. I was excited as soon as it was announced. I've been following Errol Spence now for some time, for at least last few years, and I'm a big fan of this dude, man. Just a American Olympian, all around solid fighter. I like his demeanor, confident but not arrogant. Really, just a really all around good contender right now, man. And I'm really excited to see him get this really big opportunity. Also a very big fan of Kell Brook. It's starting to become a habit now that I'm saying I'm a fan of both fighters. I'm usually not. But you know what? 2017 is shaping up to be a great year of boxing matches, and I am a fan of a lot of the fights that are being put together. So, I'm going to start by saying the first thing I was very shocked to see was how big Errol Spence looked next to Kell Brook. I actually thought he was shorter than Kell Brook, and that was my mistake, a little oversight. He looked, if not the same height, about an inch maybe taller, and definitely just as big. I was just listening to Counter Punch Boxing. Shout out to them. I am in that group on Facebook. I do suggest that you guys go ahead and follow them, man. I'm a fan. Homeboy's putting together some great work. But he said something. I guess I missed it in the clips I saw of the press conference. But he said Errol Spence walks around at about 180, which is huge. For a welterweight, my goodness. I'm glad they're not putting up Pacquiao against Errol Spence. My God, that's a big dude, man. That's a middleweight. I mean, really, he's walking around like what, almost a light heavy. But I don't know how bigger than a light heavy. I'm sure. Yeah, no, light heavy, right? Just about. But anyways, my early when I first heard the fight, my immediate thought was I have Kell Brook in this fight, man. To be honest, I think Kell Brook is an A-level fighter. Not the best competition, of course, in his resume, and Errol Spence and his team was quick to pull that out at the press conference. But just the things that I've seen from Kell Brook, his willingness, his eagerness to be great, his abilities to box. I think his performance against Shawn Porter was a great performance. Any contenders that he's faced recently, he's annihilated, which just shows you that he's definitely, on the top of the food chain. There's definitely a great welterweight tournament pretty much happening right now. You just had, Thurman Garcia. You have Berto and Shawn Porter getting ready to happen. And you have Kell Brook, Errol Spence. So right now, I think I'm still going with Kell Brook. This isn't my official prediction. I think right now, just looking at it, I think it's really a 50-50 fight. I think what I'm basing it off of is just experience at this moment in time. At first, I was basing it off size. I thought Kell Brook was the larger of the two, but he's apparently not. So that now it really just becomes a matter of skill. Both have had suspect defense a little bit in their bouts. I think Errol Spence has had some problems with counter punchers a little bit, and he hasn't really faced a really great puncher and mover like Kell Brook. So I'm interested to see how he takes that matchup. Errol Spence has been known for great body work, good at cutting off the ring. He's a southpaw and very good at being a southpaw. And he's a hell of a puncher, man. We've just seen him break dudes down. And realizing how big he is, it was no wonder he demolished Chris Algieri, who's an extremely light dude, really a natural 140-pounder. So I'm interested to see, man. I mean, I think the big factor will be Kell Brook's muscle mass. I think the fact that he had to move up and gained a lot of muscle for the Golovkin fight. I think if he comes in drained at all, with Errol Spence being a little bit younger, a little bit fresher, a little less mileage, not having the orbital bone broken, things of that nature. I think, you know, if he's having any trouble with weight, he might get knocked out. And I know I just called for Kell Brook, you know, of course, on my unofficial prediction, to win, but it poses a big risk, man. I think Errol Spence right now might be a little bit more comfortable at that welterweight. Now, if, sorry, Errol Spence, I don't know if I just said Kell Brook would be more, you know, comfortable at that weight, but I meant Errol Spence if I did say that. Errol Spence is going to be a little bit more comfortable at that weight. Now, if Kell Brook can, you know, has the right dietitian and nutritionist and really can get down to the weight comfortably and, you know, comes in healthy, not really dehydrated, then I think we're in for a very interesting match. And I think that, I think, again, just unofficially, I think, you know, obviously the build-up and the lead-up and the footage leading up and seeing kind of, you know, how each fighter is progressing during camp is going to play a big factor and a big role during, you know, once the official prediction comes out. But, you know, with all things considered at the current moment, if Kell Brook can come in, I think, healthy, not drained, I think we're in for, number one, a hell of a matchup. And you know, man, I'm so interested in this fight. I do see Kell Brook pulling it out right now, but again, that may change, man. We'll see how things kind of, you know, bubble up during the lead up into the fight, and you know, we'll take it from there. But the press conference was very interesting. Both sides kind of throwing jabs at each other. I think both kind of brought up valid points. Errol Spence saying you know, Kell Brook is riding off the Golovkin loss, and you shouldn't be proud of a loss. You got whooped, and the only person you have on your resume that you beat of note to date in your long career, or your longer career than mine, is Sean Porter. And of course, Kell Brook responds, "Well, you have nobody on your resume. You beat Chris Algieri, who's, you know, miniature compared to you. He's a 140 pounder." I think neither guy has faced an opponent that's quite like each other, and you know, that's what makes this matchup interesting, of course. And in my honest opinion, I think the winner of this fight is the king of the welterweight division, of course, which needs to be proven because you have Keith Thurman, who just beat Danny Garcia, looming. But of course, that is the fight to make. Whoever wins this fight, you know, I can see a tune-up fight happening early next year. The fight between, you know, winner of Kell Brook Errol Spence fighting Keith Thurman. I think that fight would need to be built up, so each fighter would probably take a highlight reel fight, you know, somebody to knock out, right? They, you know, whoever wins, right? If Kell Brook wins, he takes a fight, knocks somebody out. Keith Thurman takes a fight, he knocks somebody out. You know, of course, if all goes according to plan, ask Amir Imam, and you know, things like that can go ahead. They can be your train can be derailed, so to speak. But I just believe that this is the better matchup. I think that the Keith Thurman-Danny Garcia fight isn't going to be half of what this fight is going to amount to. I think that this fight is a tougher fight for each. You know, personally, I believe Kell Brook and I personally believe Errol Spence. I believe either one of them can beat Keith Thurman. Not taking anything away from Keith Thurman. I just think that the real difference that I see with these fighters in the last year or so is that these fighters do come to win. When I say these fighters, I'm talking about Kell Brook and Errol Spence. And when I see you know, Thurman as of recent, you know, he's gone from really one time to you know, meaning that he's a knockout artist, to more of a boxer puncher, you know, and I seen him more on his bicycle lately in the later rounds of most of his recent fights. Anyways, again, that's neither here nor there, just kind of alluding to what may happen in the future. But anyways, I want to keep this video under 10 minutes. I just want to know what you guys think. Who do you guys have winning? What are your early thoughts, early predictions? Of course, we're saying unofficially because the fight is still, you know, some time away. But just wanted to get some early thoughts. And I watched it and I had to speak on it because I'm looking forward to this fight. You know, we just had the Golovkin and Danny Jacobs fight, which was a great fight. Feel free to watch my video on that. More importantly, go ahead and you know, like this video for me. You know, subscribe to the channel. Like I told you guys, I'm you know, planning on being a lot more active on the YouTube, and just really getting in and chopping it up with you guys, and just providing some good content, man. So with that being said, I'm gonna, like I said, leave this short. Got to head to work, but I just want to thank you guys for listening, and also add me on social media, Instagram or Twitter, at goldminds.com. That's GOALEDMINDS. And sorry, that's not a .com on the Twitter, Instagram. It's just Gold Minds. But check out the website, which is www.goldminds.com. Again, that's GOALEDMINDS.com. This is your boy JU, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.